Hi, it's Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 2 of them, ages 11 and 14. I wanted to do a little reflection now that it's been 3-ish weeks since we started school. I believe this is the 4th week. And I wanted to go over how our plans have been working and what hasn't been working and how we're changing it, things like that. So first of all, our schedule has changed a bit. I call it a schedule, but it's more like a routine. We don't even do the same subjects in the same order. I know most people are like, okay, now we do math or morning basket, or now we do after math is, science or whatever they happen to do. Ours is more like, this is what we have to accomplish today and what order are we going to do it in. The reason we do that is because sometimes, like we have a puppy who comes up for certain times for the day to play or to be watched while my husband leaves, and so can't do math in the middle of that, or somebody has an appointment or we have to run to the grocery store or anything like that can change, as well as the kids attention. Like if they're just did math, then they probably aren't going to be able to concentrate on something equally as hard, so then we'll sit and read, which depending on might be a different subject. So we just kind of do things of like, oh, which one should we do next? Or I feel like we should do this one next, or anything like that. And so that works for our family. But yeah, the schedule has still changed. I found that Aria's schedule, my grade 6, is a little too much. She ends up doing school longer than... Okay, so I was talking about how my daughter had too much and was taking longer than my son, who's in grade 9. So also just, for the most part, his schedule has been fine, but our schedule on Friday was a group walk, a morning basket, which we do only on Fridays, so Friday basket, I guess, and we do history, and that has been working out okay, so we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I want to specifically reflect on my grade 6 first. So for ELA, she's been doing Hearth and Story. It's our first year using it, and it's been going great. We are using grade 5 level, but the grade 5 level writing, still way too hard for her. We were struggling with dysgraphia, figuring out how to write and getting the illegible, so we were behind on figuring out the composition, I guess you'd say. So Hearth and Story just released grade 3 writing. They haven't done the rest of writing, but even though it's grade 3, it specifically talks about putting sentences into paragraphs, which is where she needs to start. So we're going to be doing, I already bought it, we're going to be doing grade 3 writing. We just started today, and we're going to do writing more days than we were doing before, so that we can kind of speed through writing and then maybe I'll buy grade 4 and jump into grade 4, and eventually we'll still use grade 5, but we'll be later on in the line. Sorry about all the background noise. Anyway, the writing was a little hard. The spelling is hard. Spelling is hard for her, but we are still going through, and I'm showing her that she can spell words that she didn't think she could spell, or even the ones that she couldn't spell, she's actually pretty close, so she's getting the idea of some of them. We definitely alter the curriculum to our needs. Like today's practice for spelling words was cursive, but we're just learning cursive, so that's not going to work for us. So she used whiteboard markers on the front door, the screen door, and she loved that. So yeah, we work together because of the ADHD. She needs me to keep her on task, but absolutely a grade 6, even doing grade 5 curriculum, could absolutely do it on their own. For science, we started the Cactus Curriculum's mysteries that I mentioned. I'll link the video below where I talk about that, and it has been going good, but we're figuring it all out, and I'm finding that it was designed more of a curriculum for co-ops or in groups for where you work. So week 1 is a couple of hours together would be better than a little bit every day, which is what we're doing. So if you do the curriculum, I suggest, if you're not doing a co-op, if you're just doing it with your family, that you do a larger part of the day. Maybe if you do a fun Friday, maybe Friday for an hour or 2 is the Cactus Curriculum's mysteries. We're doing the Case of the Mona Lisa. That's the first one. The second one's about to come out. So that's so far is doing well. We're just, like I said, figuring out when do you, we're figuring out when do you look at the computer modules, when do you use your printouts. Finding it a little bit confusing, but then I tend to get confused easily, so who knows. But I think we got it down pat now. We just did taking our fingerprints, which we did do last year, so that's not something brand new for us. But this week we will be exploring our handwriting and how to match handwriting to other people. I mean, other people's handwriting to, like, say, like a note that you found or something. So that's fun. And when we're done all of that curriculum, then we will switch to the one we originally talked about, which is the free one online, Forensics Illustrated. Okay, so math. We have not started back on Learn Math Fast yet. We need to redo, I think, book 2. Which is not, we sped through it, I think, too much. But she's still stuck on her math facts, and you can't do, say, fractions, for example, if you don't even know your math facts. So we have been playing games. I meant to go get the game that I wanted to show you. It is, you know what? I will go get it just a second. Okay, so the game is Moby number tile game. So it comes in a cute little whale. I actually got it for a gift. It says it's for 1 to 6 players. Has 162 tiles. So I'm not going to pull every tile up, but it has 2 different kinds of tiles. The blue ones are numbers. And they are, was it 1 to 9 or 0 to 9? I can't remember. And the other one, the white tiles, which apparently didn't get closed properly, hold on, is the like plus, minus, multiplication, division, whatever, and equal signs. And so there's actual games that you can do with it. We also used it once just our own way. So it comes with, this is ages 8 and plus, probably just so you don't swallow the things and know basic math. Lots of different ways to play the games. Some alternate ways to play the games. We also did the thing where I just gave her a bunch and she just had to make as many number math problems as possible. Okay, so we played that game. We've also, in my math notebook, this is one that I've made. I've shown a video before. I'll see if I can find the right video. It has a bunch of different free things, a couple paid, mostly free stuff that I found online. I think I got this one for, I don't remember if I paid for this or not, but this is skip counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so we've been working on that, figuring if you can skip count. Like, if you don't know that 4 times 5 is, you just at least know that count by 4 is 5 times, and you can figure out what 4 times 5 is. That's how I remember doing it in school. So we've been working on skip counting with the math notebook as well. Soon, in October most likely, we will be jumping into Learn Math Fast and working through there. For health and PE, we have been started off with reading an ADHD book, because she has ADHD, and it's specifically for girls. I'll grab it so we can show you. So this is The Girl's Guide to ADHD by Beth Walker. Now, we got this from the library, and it is pretty outdated in some ways, but it's actually really, really good in other ways. So I want to recommend it, even though it's a bit old, and I'll explain how we worked with that. So when I say old, I mean 2005, which is clearly not old. It's not even as old as me. But I mean, in regards to health, we changed the terminology we use and stuff. So this doesn't use the word neurodiverse, which is used a lot now, and it's, refers to it as a disorder, which I guess it is, but it's not the way it's thought of now. So basically, I just explained a few things every time I saw a word that I thought wasn't, or a way that explained things wasn't the way we talk about it now. We just talked about the changes, and which is, it's important to know the history of any condition that you have, or whatever you want to call it. I'm probably not saying the right word either. We are only on starting chapter 4, and I've loved it a lot already, and even has my daughter. So has my daughter, which is saying a lot because, she doesn't often like to talk about feelings or relationships, or not relationships, feelings or friendships, or mental health and stuff like that. So she's actually been giving me feedback and talking with me about it. And it specifically talks about girls as well. So it talks about the differences between girls and boys with ADHD. So I don't know if it's hard to find book or not, but it's got like, what does ADHD mean? Geography of the wired brain, brain chemistry, a bad case of teenager brain. We've read those. The only thing I would say about those chapters so far is that the brain chemistry and geography of the wired brain was a bit too complicated, but I just quickly skipped over the parts that I thought were much for her. And we have emotions, putting the treat back in treatment 1 and 2, the good stuff, family, friendship, love, and a little about, personal relationships, intimate relationships, school, friendship and school stories. The light bulb has to want to change, and more survival tactics. And as I go through, I usually I don't pre-read, but I kind of read quickly enough that I'm able to understand what I'm reading before I say it, spit out the words. And so when I get to the intimate relations section, if she's not something she's anywhere near needing to hear, then I will just skip over that, and we can always take out the book again as she's older if we need to. I'm just peeking at it right now. It talks about dating. Oh, it's just a little bit. It's not even a big deal. It's not a big deal about that. So yeah, this is the one, Beth Walker, The Girl's Guide to ADHD. Other thing that kind of bugs me about the book is that they say ADHD way too much. But my daughter's like, but it's a book about ADHD. Yes, but it's like says it 15 times in the same sentence. So sometimes I say it instead of ADHD. Like I said, couple good things, couple bad things, but overall I love it. And we've been reading that every day for health. We also do their daily walk as part of their PE. They walk themselves around where I allow them to walk. And then also on Thursdays, we do an extra PE and we do a game. So far we've been doing simple games because we're kind of out of shape and we need to work into it. So we did a towel fold thing that I found on YouTube. I'll try to find it and link it below. You just lay out a towel and you toss roll of socks, I think is what we used. And then if you get it on, then you fold it in half. And then next time you get it on, you fold it in half again. You keep doing that. Once it's too small to fold in half, you unfold it. Next time you get it, you unfold it all the way back. We just took turns. It was fun. It was just a simple throwing. It's not big and extravagant and running lots of exercise, but it worked. Her tech class has been good. I created her tech class. So if you're looking for a tech class, I haven't put it up anywhere to get for free or to buy because I haven't decided yet. Technically, I haven't made the materials. It's just where to go to find them. So it may just be a free thing, but I will be definitely fine tuning it as we go through it and putting it up somewhere for you to get. So let me know, sorry, with the camera, if that's something you'd be interested in. We used to do music, and then music, and then the next 2 days were tech. Now we're doing it a little differently as I moved music, so it's going to be, ignore the fingerprints at the top, typing, tech. Friday's different. So instead of trying to squeeze in typing at the beginning of every tech, we're going to work on typing 2 days a week and do extra tech 2 days a week. And then Spanish we were doing, and we have since decided we're not doing Spanish this year. So we decided we're not doing Spanish this year, and that is because it's just too much, and I'm more worried about languages in the high school level. She has done a little bit of French here or there. She's done some Spanish. She learns a few things on her own with Duolingo. So I'm going to encourage her to continue learning languages on her own, but she can explore whatever languages she wants and do it whenever she wants. We'll worry about it next year. Music, we had trouble fitting in as well, and we were working on music theory. So what I did was, originally, we were doing history. That's the history together. History, where is it? History. We were doing art on one day, and my son was doing history by himself. Now I switched it to art/music. So it'll be 1 week art, the next week music, the next week art, the next week music. So we're just doing a little bit of music theory. I'm not we'll just do a little extra each day and do it less often. Once we're done with some basic music theory, then we'll start playing in the recorder possibly, and we'll see what else we want to do. And art, I already kind of mentioned, we used to do art with Jenna Layton. We haven't done enough art to really say if that's good or not. We keep skipping it. So we'll actually try to get it done. Together we do Curiosity Chronicles, Early Modern History Part 1, and it's gone great so far. So I am using I have an atlas, a big book that and we've been using that with it. So when they talk about a certain area, like we just talked about Spain, my kids don't necessarily, well, especially my youngest one, doesn't really know where Spain is. So we opened a map of Europe and showed where Spain was, identify what water and what countries were near it. things like that that kind of helped it cement it in. But yeah, I really love the fact that it's like pre-made for you, but you can also adjust it, because I like to do my own thing, but I like a basis, especially for history, world history, which I know not much about. So we use, like, you know, I mentioned, again, I'll link any videos related to what I'm saying. We did a video talking about how I plan Curiosity Chronicles. And so every day is different. You know, one day is reading from the book, which again, I have the audio files, but they prefer me to read from it. So I read from the book. We do, you know, the questions, any questions out loud. We don't write anything. Map work, my oldest one does the timeline, which we're still working on. Just basically the history book from School Nest. He just makes one or two drawings and writings. We're going to work on doing like more of them eventually. And then we do the Minecraft builds, or at least some of them, some extra fun things. We're going to play a game this Friday, I think it is. So that's been going great. I'm loving it. Music history. Oh, I can't read my own writing here. Music history. I created music history. It's been going great as well. I will eventually share as well as probably free, possibly paid, most likely free, as well, once I, you know, work out anything. I found an error, so I got to fix that. I want to really make sure we use it before I'm sharing it, so I know that it's good. For computer science, it was a bust. We were using code.org, and it's not that it isn't made well. It's just, it's very complicated. Not the information is complicated for him. How I use it and run it is complicated. It's complicated for me. He already knew most of the material that I was teaching. And then even when he didn't know it, like, it just wasn't for us. It's better for if you're teaching a giant class, not for one teacher, or one student, I mean. So we decided to use free tutorials for TypeScript, which he says you can use on Roblox, apparently. It's the only other coding language he wanted to learn, so I will link that below what we're using. He's going to just start that tomorrow, and then he's going to do a little bit of his coding with his own game on Roblox. And then maybe down the line we'll add some other kind of computer science aspect. What we did already cover binary and ASCII, or that's how you say it, and things like that. Sorry. And from that, oh yeah, his health, we've just been using Glencoe Health 2005 textbook. We've defined that we don't need to read everything, so I just sort of read parts of it and then teach him from that. And then we discuss some of the questions occasionally if I feel like extra talking is needed. And then same thing as my daughter, he does something on Thursday together with her, and then they also walk every day. And English. So we've been reading nonfiction books. We started with The Omnivore's Dilemma, which is the one he picked out of the ones I had picked for him to choose. And I was excited to read it, but honestly, it's just very dry and very detailed, and details I don't know how to explain it. I am well read, and it has the words I don't know what it means. And enough that we had to sometimes look things up. Like, sometimes you can know based on where it is in this text and what else is you're reading, but sometimes I was like, I have no idea what that means. So I don't know. We're trying to get through that book, or at least get parts of it through that book. We haven't given up on it yet. So like I said, we read together, as in like I read and we discuss it. His vocab and his grammar are the vocab we're using Wordly Wise, grade 8, I think. And his grammar is Writer's Choice Grammar, something or other. Whatever my pick videos said, those are working well. And cursive, they both have, I forgot to mention her, but they both have a cursive, like it's just printouts, not like a print, not an actual workbook. And the one that was recommended by the occupational therapist that we worked with for dysgraphia. And so they're taking it very slow. I told them to focus, instead of doing like 3 lines or a whole page, which they're just speeding through and it's not even neat. So I'm to just do 1 line, but take your time, and it needs to look. If it doesn't look like it's supposed to, then erase it and start again. And so that's working a lot better for them. I think they're getting the hang of it. Did I miss anything else? So morning basket. Like I said, we still call it morning basket, even though it's one morning and probably afternoon, because I forgot to mention that we've been schooling in the afternoon. We don't start till 12, probably at the earliest, 11:30 or 11 if we have something to do, but sometimes it's even 1 or 2. And I don't like to do that. It's what works for my kids who have strange sleep schedules. what was I saying? Oh, morning basket. So morning basket, which is not even every morning and not even in the morning, has been going okay. We just have a bunch of different random videos to watch, books to read. We have games. I just sort of like every time I plan a few things to do. We got some books from the library, so we're just gonna kind of, and then if we have any field trips, we'll add them in on Fridays as well. So I haven't had any great grand morning baskets yet. I'm still figuring out our groove for that. I think that is everything. I feel like I've been talking forever, but it says I've only been talking for 20 minutes. So if you have any questions, oh, I forgot geography for my daughter. Geography, we've been using, what is her name? True North Histories, Canadian Geography unit study type thing. So far it's been a bit too easy, but it's getting better, and we're going to move into 180 days of geography, grade 6 after that. So we switched that from 2 days a week to only 1 day a week because I'm not as worried about that right now. I want to focus on the science because she's loving the forensics, and I want her to be enjoying it. So we will continue the way we're going, and we made a few changes. Like I said, I took out Spanish. We moved music with art and put typing with tech, so she has less things to do, and see how that goes. And we moved from writing grade 5 to grading grade 3, which I think will be a lot better. And those are our major changes. Oh, and the computer science for my son. Let me know what you think, and I'll try to remember to put everything that I mentioned in the description. The description, so you can check it out. Thanks. All right, that's it for now. Bye.